the series against MaxPax. Let's see what this one is going to look like. We'll actually have seen all of Doc's games after this match as well, which is obviously worth noting too. We'll know exactly where he stands in this group. We'll obviously still got plenty of games from MaxPax to see, however, so it'll be fun to watch some of his matches a bit further down the line and to see how he's going to be looking today as well, because he's going to be one of the other favorites. Now alongside Estrella, who took out Doc as well, right? So super fun group turned into a good one. In the bottom right, our red Protoss player is MaxPax. In the top left, our blue Zerg player is Doc. And we get this underway. Open a pylon coming up just to start things out. So early few moments, not too surprising or anything. The gateway on the low ground for MaxPax is obviously very unsurprising as well. Just especially in PvZ, you want to get your expansion down, you want to get that set up, and that's exactly what we're going to play towards. So moving towards that, looking to set that up in the early stages. As we do have a couple drones just popping through, and a gateway and the assimilator coming out as well, so bringing all of that out. And yeah, the probe's already on the other side, so he's going to try and force Dark, well, already forced Dark into that third base location. He's now just going to keep an eye on whatever else Dark is going to get up to here, make sure it's not going to be anything too severe, anything you're not quite prepared for. Just wants to keep on top of things. Like I say, that's how it should be. As our drones get back to mining here in the main base, just going to get back to work on that one. As our Nexus comes up, Cybercore will go down. And yeah, MaxPax's choices can be continued to be made here fairly soon. We just got ourselves, again, that pool coming up behind the mineral line. Natural gas pool, all getting set. And yeah, the Cybercore is about halfway done as well, so Cybercore halfway through. Island and the assimilator continue up also, and that probe will move down to the low ground and then out onto the map. And away we go to try and get a little bit of something done over these next few moments. Link speed, a couple queens, and some Zerglings continue to produce through. We do have ourselves the Stargate now on the way as well, which is very standard. MaxPax doing kind of what we would expect him to for these early stages. Maybe sometimes expect MaxPax to mix it up into some glaives and stuff, and we'll see if that does come about at some point, but in general, MaxPax is very happy playing Stargate, Oracles into, you know, just into the Blink, into the Charge. He did play a very varied series of builds yesterday against Cyril in the finals of the Kung Fu Cup Mind, and that was kind of the sort of series I was expecting back in that ESL Summer Regional Finals that they played, and it never really played out like that. It was a much more kind of, you know, MaxPax seemed pretty set on what he wanted to do, and just did the same build kind of on repeat. So, yeah, kind of interesting he's maybe back to kind of varying it up, obviously ahead of another ESL Regional next week. That will begin as Adept's going to get caught by a few drones and Zerglings here. Adept shades back around the back of that mineral line. A few links still coming over, trying to see what else it is that they can do. And again, the Oracle, the Warp Gates, the Adept, the Probes, all producing forwards for the moment as we have ourselves plenty of links heading down to the bottom right side of the map. Oracle pops. Just for the moment. Turning it back around. Twilight Count's coming up. A couple of gateways are coming through. We have the Oracle just heading to the upper left-hand side as well. Just going to be having ourselves a couple of spores continuing in. Drones and a few queens. Just going to be continuing out. Oracle will activate. We'll grab one drone already. It's always nice. Again, that Twilight Council already coming through, so that will get set up. President Glaive's already producing on through, just getting that up and rolling. Obviously, that is going to be the next step. It was a fast Twilight following the Stargate, so not too surprised to see the fact that we are going to now investigate into Glaives. like I say, MaxPax has been mixing up a little bit in this matchup the last few days from what I've seen, with that finals against Cyril being my main talking point from that. So, yeah, that's going to be fun to see exactly how it goes down. A couple of oracles taking some shots, some drones getting pushed away a little bit. Melee upgrade obviously doesn't bode well for Doc if he doesn't have anything else to help him against those adepts, and these adepts might actually catch him a little bit unawares. I mean, he's building Lings right now, but Lings obviously not exactly the best of ways to deal with an adept force, which has glaives in play as well, and I think Doc now is going to have no choice but to just mass Lings and sort of hope and pray a little bit, because it's getting into that sort of an issue. That's the sort of state that we're in right now, heading forwards here. There we go, the Adept Shade onto this natural ramp. The Oracles will be nearby, although maybe not near enough initially to help out. There's too many Queens now as well, so not worth the Oracles coming through. The Adept's going to get pushed back. So far, only 3 drones, but a lot of the Lings going down. The Adepts will shade into the main, where they find immediately up to 10 workers killed. Well, that's a fantastic bit of damage there, and obviously as Lings stream in a couple at a time, they're not exactly going to suddenly start doing a whole lot better for themselves than they were previously, so that's not exactly great either. As this is looking as though Dark is just not well enough set up against this. This really looks as though Dark is going to be completely, well, in trouble. I mean, 44 drones left. He's got an army supply lead, but when it's mostly Lings, if you're trying to go across the map with that, well, yeah, having mostly Lings is not exactly going to be your best friend, because defensively, Adepts should be fine, because they will always be sitting in choke points. They will have batteries to just keep them going a little bit extra as well. That's just something I don't think Dark will be able to do enough against, although right now it's only sentries on the other side, so maybe there is some opportunity here as these Lings continue to push their way through into this mineral line. The sentries are dying, the Stalkers are warping in as we're making Blink behind this. But we need to get rid of these Lings. Now the Oracles actually do have energy, and they are going to maybe be the savior of MaxPax back at home. It's just coming back to deal with that. Looks as though we will be a little bit more back on track following that. Ooh, that was definitely a little bit interesting as the Adepts are back over here. No more drones going down though, so only probes in the production or in the kill tab as of late. Dark is going to come out, only a couple workers behind. Now maybe his army supply is lacking. I guess the first Blink Stalker push is going to be a real telling sign of just where this game stands. I think MaxPax might have enough to actually just do very well on a push across the map. But that is still to be fully determined, as we'll give it a chance at least here. Blink and +1 upgrade continuing through. The Stalker's trying to hit that, those Lings trying to hit that Stalker. A couple of Adepts get warped in behind said Stalker as well. A little bit defensively there. Feeling still moving about. A couple of Adepts continuing across. Stalkers trying to fight in this where Stasis Wards are going to help against those Lings as well. The Spine Scroll at least will hold a bit of time. Obviously the transfusions will mean that you maybe don't make much progress here immediately as MaxPax. As 2 Queens go down, another Queen's taking some damage now as well. And these Lings are just still popping out of Stasis Wards and trying to come help out, but I just, again, don't think they're going to make the difference. The Stalkers, though, slowly getting chipped through. Maybe now we lose a few. We actually have to blink backward with them. So there's a moment of hope there, at least, on the side of, on the side of Dark. Yeah, eventually you're just going to get worn down too much, and that's the problem. MaxPax keeps on rebuilding. The early damage off the Adepts was too much. Dark was just caught off guard. So look forward to that. Should be some good fun. As in the bottom left-hand side, a red Protoss player from Psystorm. This is MaxPax. Up 1, of course, in this best of 3, as previously mentioned. And up against the blue Zerg player in the upper right-hand corner, we have got ourselves Dragon Kaiser Gaming's Dark 100%, looking for a little bit of a chance to get back in this. As he wants to at the very least force the game 3. He knows he can. He's absolutely one of the players that can compete with MaxPax at this high level. So he's hoping he can bring that right now for us as we get this one operational. Game number 2. Probe has already blocked the natural expansion, so... Oh, Doc's is going to take the gold base. It's something which a few Zergs have started to do lately, actually. Just this taking the gold. It's kind of fun. If it goes unpunished, there's obviously... if it goes unpunished, it puts you in a pretty nice position as a Zerg. Will MaxPax be able to do something about it? Well, that's something we're going to figure out over time. It's a very far away gold, but I tell you what, it's so far away that I almost feel like it's too far away for the pros to take advantage of, as silly as that may seem. It really is quite the distance, isn't it? Like, usually I think at depths, and maybe that still will be the kind of the play here. And obviously you can shoot from behind the mineral line as well, which will probably also be a big part of the weakness for that location and defending it. Cyber core coming up, the Nexus coming through. Probe is just going to open up this side. I like that because that's going to give you access towards the gold base then. So that now gives you a chance at least to work towards that position, which you know is going to be contested from your opponents. So getting that set up straight away as the Nexus continues through. The link speed's still coming up. A couple of queens on the way in. And link speed, couple queens, couple lings, all being produced right now as we have ourselves the Stargate is on the way from MaxPax. So no surprises from MaxPax. Like I say, maybe some harassment towards that gold he'll set up for, but otherwise seems to be somewhat happy to just let that base go up. Is not immediately at least going to come jumping on it and trying to deny it. So let's take that for what you will. Drones, link speed, like I say, the Stargate coming through, the Adept on the way, the Warp Gate. Waiting for what MaxPax is going to take interest in here shortly. The Adept on the map is going to have a few lings coming about. And active for a few moments. Those lings actually going to go chase that Adept pretty nicely as the link speed comes through. A couple of Adepts in the wall off there will be able to keep those lings at bay as well, so nothing to really gain from that just yet. We just have ourselves the Warp Gate coming through, the Oracle's popping out. Still a few lings making their way around the bottom side, and again seeing if we can get anything done with this Oracle. As 30 drones to 33 probes. Current situation. Still going up and down just a little bit here though. Oracle comes back over. Queens are there. Oracle starts taking some shots pretty darn quickly. As now it turns back into the center of the map. So Oracle turns back around. Plenty of lings around the bottom side as well. Still got Dog looking to utilize the kind of gap that you've opened here as MaxPax, so he can try and take advantage of that himself. Continue about again on a little bit of a journey around, just for a few moments. As you have the Temple Archives and Robo Facility building, MaxPax showing us his next step. It's going to get delayed slightly going towards his third base, so a slight little slow down on that. Again, a few drones all being produced through, just having ourselves the Charge and Temple Archives coming up as well, so a lot of intrigue coming up. These Oracles moving around in the center of the map a little bit as well, just trying to see what it is that they can get up to. As the Roaches and the Queens just continue over for a little bit. Well, you have the charge building up right now as well. Definitely expecting that charge to be an important factor. And as the oracles will actually activate to chase these roaches slightly. I mean, it's only a couple of roaches, but I guess the oracle activation is pretty much just free damage, so why not claim that free damage if Dark's going to kind of expose these roaches and go make the most of it, I guess. And that's exactly, like I say, the idea right here, so we'll come through. Things wrapping around. A couple of these adepts will go down. MaxPax's harassment not going very far. Is going to get the third base up now. We do have, again, a couple of gates. The zealots, the charge, all still being produced through as well. So all of that's still coming out as we speak. The prism overhead there with the zealots as we make our way out towards the upper right-hand side of the map. Making our way to the top. Little revelation comes down there to help as well. So nice little play on that one. Oracle's still active, Zealot's chasing, the Archon's coming through. And those roaches are going to continue to trade with the couple of units here for a couple of moments. Just have ourselves the extra units warping in, but I just don't see where MaxPax is going to go with this. There's too many roaches, and I just don't think we're going to find ourselves enough to make this work out. I think this one is looking pretty doomed for MaxPax. A 50 supply lead for Dark coming out of this. I mean, did he really lose anything here? Not really, no. I mean, MaxPax only really lost Zealots, but his commitment to this means that it kind of feels like he needed to have a little bit more. Otherwise, right now, as you can see, he's going to be behind a lot. I mean, worker count is still actually pretty okay. So worker-wise, they're kind of fine. It's just Dark has so many units. 110 army supply to 43. That's obviously not a contest. As the roaches turn back around, going to turn onto a couple of those Archons there. The Prism dropping down what it can. Obviously, the Prism can micro a little bit too. We'll do everything that it can to make the most of this as we have ourselves. The roach is still coming forward. Super Battery being target fired down as well. Super Battery will fall. The Corrosive Vials towards the Immortals. Now the couple of Archons having to be lifted back up, and the micro continues from MaxPax, but again, they're fighting one gigantic uphill battle. And Dark just has so much, and of course Dark is just going to keep spamming units at this point. There's no reason for Dark to do anything more complicated or anything more, anything beyond what's already happening here. The Ravager continues through, and I do think we'll have ourselves, this being a game number 3 of this series, looks like we will have ourselves go the distance in this series. So, distance it will be. Off we go. Getting ourselves into that in a couple of moments. This next map, Dark and MaxPax, as in the top left. Irate Protoss player from Storm Gaming is going to be MaxPax. Up against the blue Zerg in the bottom right-hand side, we have ourselves Dark. Dark get, like I say, a very important win. He might make it out of this group anyways with the loss. But a win would just help him to finish higher up, get a bit of a better seed into the playoffs. If you finish in 3rd place of the group, you're likely going to play like one of the players that wins out of Bjorn and Clem and Hero and Solar. Not that there's, again, any real easy match in the round of 12 or so, or in the playoffs in general, but maybe avoid some of those guys would be nice, I guess. Again, handle a day of MaxPax, die Mad Cat. Yeah, well, we got just that coming up. Perfect. So it's almost like a date. It's almost like a date. Again, Hatchgas and Pool coming through. We do have ourselves the next coming up from MaxPax, so early on, things look pretty regular there. Early choices are seeming pretty normal. There's a couple draws coming through. Again, that hatchery coming up. Probe did not get to block the natural hatchery, so the hatchery does go down on the natural location. Something that had happened in the previous 2 games was that 3rd base being taken instead. Obviously, the gold on Alcyone was the choice, and that is what led us into that last game. being set up the way that it was. And both don't, obviously, again, MaxPax never really did much to that gold base. Without doing much to the gold, again, Dark always just had a naturally kind of good step up, which I feel like prepared him nicely for the point where that Zealot Archon attack came in. So he was never really, I don't think, sweating it, you know, in that last game. I feel like he really had a good enough start that he was always going to feel himself in a pretty good position. Things to be coming up. Stargate is building on the side of MaxPax, and a couple of those probes continue out as well. Warpgate still coming through. Adept coming in. And probes can transfer down to the low ground. So, probes down to the low ground for a couple of moments. Speed coming up. We got ourselves the Queen on the way in as well. Adept is just going to go shading on forwards and trying to find a little bit of what's going on. As it cleans up a Zergling that's scouting itself, so everyone just trying to pick up information. The standard early game PvZ, which is, again, is typically not a lot happens early game in a PvZ. It's a lot of setting up, it's a lot of figuring out what's going on, for example. As that link speed is just about to be done, so maybe Dark will have a bit more map control, but he's not building a bunch of lings. He's not looking to be aggressive with a bunch of lings or anything along those lines. He's playing a pretty darn standard game. As boring as some of us might think that is, because I know Dark is it's one of those players that we definitely expect, again, at times can just absolutely spice up a matchup like PvZ by being all sorts of crazy. Feelings are going to watch out for this incoming third as the Oracle moves around. And the Queens fire up a couple shots onto said Oracle, and a Voidry will be here to help protect this third base also. Voidry gets the Overlord, nice catch. Little bonus supply block Dark for a few moments there. Definitely take those little victories. Voidry coming across, fortunately, Robo Facility coming through. He's got a couple of gates going about as well, so plenty on the way. Charge. Gonna go up against the melee as well. We get this rolling. Queen pushes the Oracle back. Voidry pulls back as well. Something that's coming up. Melee upgrade is about to finish. There's a few Banelings coming in from Dark, so very aggressive on this Ling Bane melee upgrade. Absolutely looking as though he's going to send it at least to some extent here. Still building Lings, so he really is believing he can get a bit of a timing in before MaxPax is set up. That's a big commitment, so got to be sure about it. The Zealots aren't going to do so hot against the Banelings, but the Banes might also want the probes. MaxPax already evacuated the probes, though. I mean, if we only crash in for the base, is that enough? Because again, Dark invests so much economy into doing this. And to only get the base kill, this probably isn't enough really, but I mean, 2 probes going down, the Lings continue to drop. MaxPax is holding on comfortably so far. Dark's already building a lair and a Rotoron behind this, recognizing that he needs to already have a backup plan in place for the very near future. Because this absolutely is seemingly not doing enough. Banelings can be cancelled by the Voidry if they want us to turn onto them. It's just going to busy itself with the Zerglings. Well, Archon's morphing in. I think we're really at the end of this attack. Dark is still not droned off of 52, though. There's just no way, man. Oracle activates a little bit more. There's a few bins from the right side. Maybe they can find something. The probes are going to be forced to pull back toward the natural. The Balins that are morphing toward the natural are not going to last long. Like I say, they're being targeted down. A couple of them do finish up. Voidray turns onto them. Targets 1, targets 2. Maybe a little bit of an issue here as the Lings do break through. The Stalker and the Warlock does fall. And the Lings get up into that main base. And the Zealots continue to go hunting down on those Lings as well. It's just trying to find a little bit of something. That Prism and drop the Archon back down. A few more Lings getting picked away at. Just for the moment. Roaches and the Roach Speed continuing to produce. Zealots, Archons all joining up. Voidray overhead. As I was just going to grab a few more Lings. High Templars are warping in. 6 of them right away there. MaxPax, I don't know if he needs to go across the map right now. I feel like this is a moment where Dark is still... Well, I guess he has droned, but he's got the units to defend, so I think MaxPax will be better off just playing it a little bit more slowly. Zealot Archon through the center. You see that Prism dropping a couple of Zealots off on that right-hand side. And now some Zealots in the main base too. MaxPax really does want to just send it. He's got the tech behind this. It's not like he's all in on this attack. I mean, it just doesn't feel like he'll break through the Roaches. Oh, to be fair, sometimes a clump of Archons can be surprising, I suppose. We're just continuing all the way across. The Archon's still being chased. Roach is just coming through again. The Archon's taking damage. Zealot's going to come back across. The Roach is taking a lot of shots. Roach is still making their way over. We'll get rid of the cannon, get rid of the few Zealots. The Archon is still taking some hits as well. Extra Zealots continue to warp in. And you have Dark, obviously being aggressive, is now going to start running into disruptors as the reinforcements of MaxPax have been building. It's like I say, he was building up more tech behind this attack that he was going for. So he has had more available. Disruptors chasing, Disruptors taking some damage. Just going to see those Roaches continuing through, and well, Disruptor taking a little bit more damage as well. Just having ourselves a few shots going off. Mortals coming by, and Roaches and Ravagers continuing through. Probe still dropping. MaxPax's supply is still pretty even though. He got himself a little bit of counter harass at the same time. Prism going across to the other side of the map. He'll lose a 4th base, but I mean, you're allowed to lose a 4th if you're still on 3 bases of economy. Ahead on workers against Dark. Dark's attack just hasn't done enough. Recall there is smart to try and save some of these units, and he will save each and every one of them. So that's nice. As Dark just trying to take advantage of that situation for sure. Wings and Roaches continue out on the bottom side. We still have the Spire coming up, the Extractors coming through. +1 missiles is on the way as well. And a couple of Observers coming up also. As the Prism comes back around that right-hand side. Now Dog does not really have a great way to deal with all of these Zealots around. He definitely doesn't have a great way to deal with this amount of Immortal Archon. And that's the problem. The tech units have never really gone down for MaxPax. Roach is taking shots. Game is gold. MaxPax will take it. 2-1 victory for him. Gonna be GG.